Okay, today is October the 8th, 2017, and right now at 9:30 p.m., we've got a temperature of 60 degrees in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 80%. The dew point is 54 degrees, and we have a barometer reading of 29.91 inches. All right, so we're looking at the northwest Atlantic water vapor loop, and this is the remnants of Hurricane Nate right here, which is now a tropical depression. This system is moving to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour, and this storm made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane, I believe, right at the border of Mississippi and Alabama. And we just got through a full moon cycle here about 3 days ago, I guess it was. So the tides were higher than usual. And the question we have to ask ourselves is why this hurricane was allowed to plow through Mississippi and Alabama when it could have been prevented. We can see a blast pattern here now. We can see a pressure wave. We can see an icicle pattern right here, and also on this side. That's very easy to see, and that is the superheating process. We can see that happening. We can see a lot of diminishment in the storm there as it moves, moving at about 20 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the hurricane center map, or National Hurricane Center map right here. Nate is a tropical depression, 35-mile-per-hour winds with a central pressure of 1,002 millibar, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. And out here we have this is a disturbance with a 70% chance of hurricane formation. We'll take a look at this here on this bigger map. Let's go back to this map right here, and we can see that disturbance right here. We can see the counterclockwise rotation already spinning, and adjacent to this low we have another area of low pressure right here which was spinning, and we have this strange circular area of high pressure that was installed, and we also have another low, a vortex right here spinning counterclockwise. So there was three low pressures in a row right here. One of them, this one here, looks like it was taken out. We have clockwise rotation right here, and that is the high pressure being generated by this outline. This is a transmitter which is eliminating this low, but yet this is marked on the National Hurricane Center map as a disturbance with a 70% chance of hurricane formation right here. Also, we have high pressure installed in this area to prevent this vortex from merging with this storm, this former hurricane, which is moving up through the northeast and back out into the Atlantic. Also, there's a lot of clockwise rotation right here from all this high pressure. Look at all of this. Look at the flow pattern here. There's a lot of high pressure installed in this area, and that's going to maintain separation between these three lows. This one here has been basically destroyed. We can see that clockwise rotation. That's evidence of a transmitter working this area. And look at the outline here. Okay, let's look at the Gulf of Mexico. We can see that clockwise rotation, and we can see that blast pattern right up here on Nate, right there, that pressure wave moving out. See the icicle pattern. That's the rapidly expanding water vapor shooting out from the center of that targeted area. This area was superheated, and that's what's causing this ring and this icicle pattern. Okay, all right, let's go out to the west coast and take a look at the northeast Pacific water vapor loop. You can see we've got the jet stream right here, flow pattern, which is moving into Canada and down through Washington and Oregon and into California. And then it hooks out to the east through Nevada and Utah, and then moves right up through the Dakotas and back into Canada. Let's look at the jet stream map right now, and we can see that pattern. Got high speed flow right into Canada and down into California and out through Nevada, Utah, and out. But right here we have a mysterious area that is evaporating, that is a transmitter I'm speaking of, is evaporating the moisture right on top of that jet stream. Let's look at the map once again. And we can see that we can see this atmospheric river of water flowing right down into California and then out, but we have a void right here. Let's look at this in the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see much better what's happening. We've got jet stream flow right into California, and what do we see? We see a transmitter right here evaporating all that moisture. And we have some strange activity right here. You can see that there is development which is being stopped. This is the jet stream continuing on up towards Canada. All right, let's look at the infrared map. We can get a better idea of what's happening. Look at all the evaporation right here over this 7.5 hour loop. Here's the jet stream diving down into California. We've got no moisture. So the continuity of the jet stream is being manipulated. We can see that very clearly right here. This is where the transmitter is focused, and that is just simply evaporating all the moisture. Also, we've got this low pressure system out here. This 3 days ago, this weather system was moving right towards Oregon and California. And what do we see? We saw high pressure suddenly develop and actually push this low to the west. All right, so that's why it's way out here now. And yesterday, this low was actually moving to the northwest. Today, it's moving to the northeast. And we can see that right here on this surface analysis map. The surface analysis map is showing this low right here, 1,012 millibar, just north of the Hawaiian Islands, which are right there. You've got this low. This is moving to the northeast now, or northeast. We've got jet stream flow moving right, as they say, right down through Canada and right down over the west coast. And right now they're showing a trough and area of low pressure right over Nevada and California right here. But we still had 92-degree weather today in the foothills and around Southern California in various areas in the low 90s. We've got a storm up here and right near Alaska, 990 millibar with a cold front. You can see an occluded front right there, this purple area. That's the area where the transmitter is working. Let's go back to the big map. And we can see that right up here. This is the center of rotation, which is really not rotating all that much. You see this dark area right in here, and this sort of elongated, squared off center of that storm. And that is affecting, that's actually warm descending air right in this area. And that's why they show the occluded front in that surface analysis map. Okay, right up here we see very little rotation. All right, so this low has been pushed around. We can see that it's been pushed out to the west. Now it's moving back towards the jet stream. If we go back to the big map, we can see that high pressure is firming up again. Actually, the weather controllers are putting high pressure. They're installing it right there to prevent this low from moving right back towards the jet stream and getting wound into that jet stream and slingshotted right back towards the west coast. So this is a preventative measure right here to stop that low from getting into the jet stream and moving right back towards California. Also, we see a Pineapple Express pattern right here over the Hawaiian Islands. We see a moisture flow moving towards California. A northeast pattern right towards California. Now, if this pattern continues, let's put the other map on here. We have the IR map. We can see the moisture field moving right towards California. Now, if this continues, we're going to see the jets upspraying. We've got a no rain forecast in Southern California, but yet we've got moisture moving right towards us. So that will mean one of two things. We'll either get rain from this if it's allowed to move in, but we can see that dry area, that high pressure. We can see a sort of an outflow pattern right here. Descending air, we can see this area opening up. But we've got moisture moving right towards us, and that will either bring rain or we'll see a lot of chemtrails in the skies. The jets will be dispatched. They'll spray the chemtrails, which will blanket the skies well above this moisture field as it moves in, and that will prevent the lift and stop the precipitation process. And so with the no rain forecast, we can virtually guarantee we'll see the chemtrails if this moisture field gets closer. So we'll have to wait a day or so and see what happens. But it looks like with this pattern right here, this evaporation pattern going on, we've got installed high pressure in this area, which is evaporating that jet stream. And this can be done with a laser. It can be done with microwave. This is more likely a laser. This is a very large area, and the continuity of the jet stream is being disrupted. We can see that right here. And this is how they engineered the drought the last 5 years, not this last season, but the previous 5 seasons. All right, there's that trough of low pressure right over California and Nevada. And here we have the East Pacific Rainbow loop, the infrared loop. We can see that a large area of thunderstorms right here has been completely blown apart. And this is exactly what they do with the hurricanes when they want to. You can see the blast pattern, and we see a hole left right in the middle of that thunderstorm, that supercell, which was down here. It had a sort of a deep red right in the center, indicating the depth of water vapor. That was destroyed. It was superheated, and we can actually see right down here, if you keep an eye right there, that southbound pressure wave. This entire area was superheated, and all that's left is a big hole right in the middle of that. So this is what they do with the hurricanes, and there was no reason that these terrorists controlling our weather couldn't have done the same thing on Hurricane Nate when it was moving right towards Mississippi and Alabama. But if we look at this website right here, we can begin to understand why things are the way they are. This is a website. It's www.artemis.b as brother, m as in Mary.bm. All right, now this is a very interesting site. I think everybody should see this. Take a good look at it. It's a big website, a lot of information. Catastrophe bonds, risk transfer, reinsurance, all sorts of financial instruments and products, as they call them, financial products, to go along with our weather manipulation. So if you're in the know and you want to bet some money on the weather, this is the place to do it. There's all kinds of news. You can read about the news relevant to betting on the weather. So everybody should take a look at this and see what you think, and then see how it ties into our weather manipulation that we've been showing for the last 2.5 years. Begin to understand and connect all the dots, what's going on. We've got a small group of people that are working the inside and betting on the weather, making probably hundreds of millions of dollars doing this, droughting various areas around the country. We've got commodities, foods, food being grown in California. We've got all sorts of products being manufactured all around the country that depend on water, fresh water, and manipulating the weather is big business. Okay, that's the bottom line. Okay, got about a minute left. The incident over in Las Vegas, I periodically post videos that are off topic. That video contradicts the narrative we're hearing on television. That's why I put it up. And we're going to continue to put up videos that show that things are not the way they are. All right, so I'd also like to see a lot more photographs and video from the 20,000 people that were at that event of dead bodies. I want to see some evidence. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll keep our eyes on Michael Chertoff and Sheldon Adelson. Okay. All right, that's it.